What's going on there, YouTube? Been feeling a little under the weather, man, and all this damn pollen and whatnot. But I want to get into the pros and cons of trucking. I know you done seen 1,000,001 videos. Just gonna make 1,000,002. You know, some of the things I may mention may be new. Some you probably done heard several times before, but let me get my spin on it. This is coming from a good 5 years of doing this here, and I'm gonna start off with the cons. Um, and no sense of sugarcoating it, man. The cons for me is being away. Being away. I'm not a socialite by no means, although I'm using this platform, but um, definitely the time away from home. When I first started, man, I stayed out 2 3 weeks. I mean, they kept the steering wheel deep in my back, which is a con, man. I mean, because it's a blessing and a curse, man. I mean, being away that long, it'll break you in. They keep the steering wheel real deep in your back, and but it breaks you in good to learn you and get you used to driving for 11 hours. Okay, um, which is sometimes required. All right. So being away. So when I first started, man, I'm sitting in the back of the truck, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was having sucker attacks, seriously. And I ain't even dressed my bed. I laid in the back of the bed, man, and you know, just on the mattress, man, because I was going through it. I was having sucker attacks like a mug, man, and just missing the family. You know what I mean? So that is definitely a con. Being out away from your family, man. If you can't do that, ain't no sense in you jumping into this. Because until you find a sweet lick, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. Um, another con is, you know, the restroom. Okay, when it's time to go and nature calls, and your stomach can't handle chili. Well, you don't need to be eating that chili, okay? Because when the time call, when nature calls and it's time to go, it's time to go. And honest God, truth, man, I didn't had to go. I mean, now if you get a camper, okay, you get something like what they carry camping, and you pull it out. No guys that got that. Some guys got a bucket, and some go on the side of the road. And hey, you got to handle your business. So that can very well happen. All right. So you have that. Uh, you know, Another con would be the hours. And this is off the cuff, man. I ain't writing nothing down or nothing. So this is all off the top. Um, the hours. When you first start for a company, 9 times out of 10, like I say, they're gonna keep that steering wheel real deep in your back. Okay, and you may deliver a load at 5 p.m. and then the next one you may have to get up, take a 10-hour break, and exactly a 10-hour break, and get up and deliver in the wee hours of the morning. So your sleep patterns can be disturbed. You may be resting at night like normal, and then you may turn around and end up having to sleep uh, during the day. So that can throw you off, man. I mean, you talk about walking around with bags, man. I ain't talking about the ones you should carry to the shower. I'm talking about the ones under your eyes, man. And I done had them, man. So full I can carry two people's luggage. You understand what I'm saying? So that is another con for me, personally. Um, Other than that, man, you got the traffic. These four-wheelers have no respect. I mean, they either it's through just plain out ignorance of the truck and its ability to stop, or it's just don't care, don't give a damn, and you have to deal with that, man. I'll give you a good example, man, and this is a con. You got a car, you're going and you can't get over. You're going through where you have an on ramp. Well, when these cars are coming on an on ramp, they don't see what's on the opposite side of you. So they don't see that you can get over. All they know is you trying to run them off the side of the road. So you're going to get flipped bird and such, man. And again, man, I'm not a socialite, but I don't want people thinking I'm doing them wrong. This happened to me one time, and I swear, man, dude came around, flipped me the bird, and then he slowed up, and I guess his passenger, somebody, chucked something out the window and hit my truck. Just saying. Well, now what am I going to do? So if you get into road rage and all that, this ain't the game for you. Stay your ass at home. So that's a con, man. Dealing with, other people's road rage, inexperience on the road, that is definitely a con. Dealing with the public, man, and these four-wheelers out here that have no respect for the truck and the trucking game as a whole. Another con, man. When you first start, you are going to bust your ass. Okay, this is not a traveling around and see the world. You will see it at about 60, 65 miles an hour, and there it goes. Okay, it ain't no time to be sitting around, because if you sitting around being a tourist, you ain't gonna make no money. So, that part of the game, and working hard, and being away from your family, and busting your ass. I mean, working. I mean, you could pull 25 to 3,000. 2,500 to 3,000 miles, and companies are, like I say, they're gonna keep that steering wheel deep in your back. You best believe it. And you look up and you may have a check for $700. And looking back on it, it's like, man, all you're really doing is just paying your dues. Because after that first year, you're golden. So that to me is a con. I mean, the amount of time that you put in the beginning as a company driver, compared to the check you gonna get, I mean, it's like, wow. But don't let that deter you, because hey, most of us in this game have been through that. I mean, it's a necessity. You have to go through that in order to learn and become seasoned as a truck driver. And I have 5 years in, and I'm still not totally seasoned. Break out the lorries. All right. So that's another con to it. I may hop around a little bit. I want to get in touch into the pros, man. The pros is, once you do pay your dues, you will see that check. Especially when you start to get on the owner-operator side of this, and having your own authority, having your own truck and trailer. That's when you get that bread. If you have a gift of gab and you're able to deal with people, you a dude and or a woman, you able to finagle your significant other or whoever out of what you want. Okay, then you might be good at this in negotiating rates. I mean, everything from the weight of the load to where it's going. So you're gonna get more of that paper. And so when you put in 2,500 miles or 3,000 miles in, you're gonna get that check. A lot of guys that I know who have their own authority with their own truck and trailer, they say you work less and make more. So, I mean, there you go. So when you put in that 2,500 to 3,000 miles, you getting that check. You're going to get that check up. All right. Another pro, so the money. So that's a good pro, man, is the money. But we see a lot of money come in, but a lot of it goes out. So keep that in mind, and to keep your expenses down low. All right. I've made that mistake, as I mentioned in my first video. So that is a pro. Another a pro to this is a good feeling. You get a good feeling by doing something of worth, of value, and knowing that you are a productive, tax-paying citizen if you playing your game right. Okay, and that sense of joy, man, that sense of pride gives me joy. And and I enjoy that, and even being able to possibly leave something for my children and their children's children if I'm able to build this brand as I hope to do. So there's that. I mean, that's a huge pro. I guess number one is the money. Second to that is the learning experience. Driving a big rig has made me a better driver in my own personal car. And we're going to get to a con real quick before I forget. Having that CDL, okay, when you in your personal vehicle, you can't do what everybody else do. I mean, if you want to speed, that's on you. But you have to understand with that CDL and that Class A license, if you get pulled over for running a red light or not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign, best believe that cop is probably gonna go up in you a little harder than he would if you had a Class D license, because they figure you know better. So to me, that's a con. Because what you do in your personal vehicle will affect you in this vehicle right here. To me, that's a con, but it is what it is. It's a part of the game. But it has made me, getting back to the pros, it has made me a better driver, more aware. I check my personal vehicle like I do my truck oftentimes. And it's made me a better driver in my own personal vehicle, particularly when it comes out to my fellow truck drivers. So I guess another con of this, man, is this is not all the time. But this is not all the time. But there's a lot of times where I have been, in the truck, and after I've been in the truck for all week, okay, I get home, I don't want to see no more trucks. I don't want to see it. Sometimes I'll stay in the house, watch television, man, because I don't want to be out on the road. I just don't want to see trucks. I'm just sick of it. So, you have your ups and downs, man, and that happens as well. Another pro to this, besides the money, you meet people. You meet a lot of interesting people, for the good and bad. You can learn a lot from a dummy. So I've met a lot of people on the road, good people, bad people, seemingly so. And you meet a lot of people, and that is a pro for me. I'm not a socialite, but at the end of the day, it's good to sit down and talk and converse with different people. You never know what they may have to offer you, and you trying to learn this game or just learning the game of life. So I've met a lot of people, and I've been a lot of places. It's nothing for me to drive from Florida, which is an easy thing for me. I mean, riding up 95 from Florida to New York City on back to Jersey, whatever. I can pretty much navigate without the navigation. So I have pretty much learned myself on that through the experience, and I think that is a major pro, without having to read a map. So that pretty much sums it up. But there is a lot of pros and cons to this game. You will have your ups and downs. Staying on top of maintenance, and staying on top of your finances will hopefully increase your chances of being successful in this game, and having done so would allow you to see things more as a positive than a negative. So hopefully that's been informative. This is Mr. 18 Toes Down, and I'll see you in the next one.